Next, we're going to cover how to set up like the intercoms. Okay, so first we're going to determine like a few scenarios of how you want to set it up is going to determine on how everything needs to be configured. With the door cameras, they can work standalone. They don't require an indoor station, like the indoor touchscreen panel. The outdoor camera, you can set it up. They all have like a PT Cloud function, like similar to how the recorders have. You would scan to add it into the LTS Connect app. You can have a call and call the app, and there you go, right? It's set up. For the outdoor cameras, you can pair them with the indoor stations. If you're using an indoor station, instead of adding the camera to the app, you're going to add the indoor station to the app. For a lot of the devices, the calling function, calling for the indoor station and calling for the app is two separate call functions. Like you can't call both of them at the same time. But if you set it up this way, where you're adding the indoor station to the phone app instead, when the camera calls, it will call the indoor station, which will ring the phone app as well. They can answer from either or. They could unlock the door from either the indoor station or for the phone app. This is kind of the easiest setup to the intercom system. Next be like a one-to-one with extensions, meaning if you have one camera and then you have two indoor panels inside the house or more, we can set it up to where the door camera can ring all the indoor panels inside the house at the same time, up to indoor station up to 5, so like up to 6 indoor stations essentially. And you can have multiple door cameras. If you're thinking like a house, you could have one at the front door, one at the back door. Whether you ring either one of them, it'll ring all the indoor stations inside the house. Let me see. I have my NVMS v3 open. Okay. So to set up the intercom stations, typically we do it through NVMS v3. You can set them up through the indoor touchscreens, and we're gonna go over that a little bit later as well. But first, we're gonna go over how to set it up on the v3. Go to online devices. I have 2 door cameras hooked up and 2 indoor stations hooked up as well. Okay, all 4 of them are inactive. Okay, I'm gonna actually set this up on here. This one, this one, this one, this one. Okay, I'm just gonna activate them all at the same time. 1, 2, 3, 4. I just set them up. Username is admin. Password I put up for them 1, 2, 3, 4 ABCD. Okay, they're all activated. Great. And then we're going to assign IP addresses for them. I wouldn't recommend using DHCP for these intercom devices because they have to point to each other through the IP addresses to communicate. And if you have the DHCP enabled, right, the IP address can change. They could lose connection to each other. Right now, I'm just going to assign addresses to them. Usually I like to do this step like activating them, assigning IP addresses to them on the IP portal, because you could just kind of do all of them at once. You could put an IP address and then they'll kind of assign them in a row like this. Refresh it, and then we have 232, 233, 234, 235, okay? So let's put that in here. And this is a door camera. We have them activated, we have the IP addresses assigned to them, and we're just going to add them in. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can't add them in individually, right? If you add them in individually, you could, give a name for them and everything. Here, I'm just gonna add them all at the same time. I would recommend doing the synchronized time for them as well, so that they're all on the same time settings. Okay, and we have the 4 devices added now.